welcome to the Easily Excitable podcast. This week, my guest yet again is McDom. Hey man, how's it going?
It's going well, Topham. How are things with you?
Yeah, things are going okay. You might have been able to tell, and you've already commented on the fact that my apartment's a bit of a mess, but that's because I've been working on a song like crazy over the weekend, and I was like asking for the vocals to come over on Friday, and they came over on Sunday at like 4 hours before the song was due, and I was just like, come on, I really needed them early, but you know.
Did you get it done?
Yeah, man, yeah. I was like, he sent them verse by verse, and then the chorus, and then the bridge, and then the outro, like all separately. And so I was like adding them in and automating as I could, like just trying to get it all set up. But yeah, I got it all done. So like 4 hours isn't that bad because I can just go through the whole song, and most of it was leveled correctly anyway. So I was like, I don't really. Yeah, it doesn't need too much. It
still would have been nicer to get it 2 days earlier, though. Let's be perfectly honest.
Oh yeah,
honest
totally.
Here.
There's a bit where there's a reference to Iron Maiden in the song, and I really wanted to like put a bit of Iron Maiden style guitar like really quietly, but like with the lack of time, I just didn't want to be messing around with it, trying to get it right, and it was just worth it more to get the song finished, because the guy was like, "Oh, you can re-record any of the bits." I was just like, get it all finished, rather than sending me the first verse and asking to like for feedback on it and re-recording, because I don't want my feedback to affect the rest of the recordings and delay them at all, because it's just like,
because we do not have time.
Yeah, I know. I was like, we don't have time. And I think he's also in like a Chinese time zone, so he was 9 hours ahead, so he was sending them over at like 3-4 o'clock, which was like nearly 1 a.m. for him, and I was like, oh come on, that's just like, it's so far out. It's like, it's so late over there. Just get them done so you can go to sleep, because you're obviously going to be at the end of your day. And he was. So it's just like,
yeah, it's obviously not doing his best work when you're that late at night.
Yeah,
it's just like
yeah, it's like, oh man, you could have had this done like 2 days ago, and we'd have got somewhere. Like, of course, I obviously missed something out as well. Like, I've forgotten that there was I didn't read it properly, so I missed there was an outro. So there was an outro section in the music just missing, just not there at all. So I was like, whoops, kind of need to add that. And he was just like, oh, can you get it done? I was like, yeah, give me 5 minutes and I'll have it done. I had it done in 5 minutes. He was like, you work so quick. I was like, you know, I know what I'm doing with the music I'm writing. As long as I've got an idea to start with, it should be fine. But,
yeah, give you an idea and you can run with it. But coming up with the ideas in the first place,
yeah. Once you've got an idea to start on, then like once I've got an idea, I can usually run with it pretty well.
Yeah, pretty much same with me. But no, you've got some other stuff coming up, or has it happened already? Your black belt.
Yeah, so I had my black belt assessment. So an assessment's like a step towards a grading, and you have to do 2 of them before you go for your.
Well, you've done your black belt, right?
I've got my 1st degree black belt.
Yeah, so this is towards 2nd degree black belt.
This is towards my 2nd degree, which I should be taking if everything goes smoothly, which I'm hoping it does, in March. And I've done my first assessment. I should have actually done it back in March this year, and then I should have done my 2nd assessment now, but I'm doing my 1st assessment now and my 2nd assessment in December. So I'm like kind of cutting it close, because
why the delay? What happened?
Life? Yeah, going to America and coming back.
Oh yeah, that would
like,
probably that would put a dent in it.
There was one time where I was like, oh yeah, and yeah, actually both of the trips to America, so the one in March and the one in June, July for RTX, both of them fell across grading weekends, so I couldn't do it in those times.
That is sod's law, isn't it? Like the 2 weekends you can't do are the 2 weekends that they can do.
Yeah, but like one of the guys in the club who got his black belt like a week ago now, he's been intending to do it. He was ahead of me as well, so he should have done his about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Jesus, okay.
But he travels internationally all the time. And it turns out he was in Austin at the same time I was in Austin, like, last year. And it was just, crazy coincidence. But, like, he's been away for so many of the black belt gradings that he's just only just got it. And he should have been doing it ages ago. But he's a very knowledgeable man, but he doesn't have the belt to prove it until now, which is really cool that, like, he's made that progression. But, yeah. So, yeah, like, I went in, did all my things. It was really good. It was a really good grading. Like, I didn't have that many things to do because it was only an assessment. So grading's like a full, this is what you've learned over the last year and a half. Whereas the assessment is like, what have you learned in the last like few months, and like the first part of the whole grading. So
when you go for your full like level 2 grading, do you get graded on the stuff you've already been assessed on? Or?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So it's almost like mock exams in a way.
Yeah, kind of, and they're a lot less formal than a grading would be. So
of course. Yeah.
So it was a good experience. Like, I didn't know what to expect at all, so I was just like going along, and I got dragged in. I was the only black belt there, so it was like I'm doing it all on my own. The day after, there was like 18 people from the club going for either their first degree, second degree, or third degree black belts. So like, yeah, they were all like nervous, and like all the training was focused on them beforehand. So I'm just like, I've just got to try and follow along with what they're doing. And because they did so much preparation, I feel like I'm ready for my grading, which will be in March. So I'm just like, it's a good thing that they've had all this practice, because it was coming up to like an assessment time for me, and I was like, I don't know exactly what I need to do and what I need to be good at, but yeah, luckily it all fed into one another, and I'm feeling ready and good. Yeah,
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, man. Cool. So what have you been playing recently?
Well, I mean, recently I got bit by the No Man's Sky bug.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't buy No Man's Sky.
Of course.
So I dug out a very old game which everybody hates, supposedly, aside from me, which is called Spore. Because that is basically No Man's Sky 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually a really fun game to play. Problem is, getting that sudden game to run on anything which is like more recent than Windows XP hardware is really fucking difficult.
Yeah.
I got it to work okay.
Yeah.
But the problem is, every time I save, it crashes the entire game and the save gets corrupted. So I can't do any of my progress, which is really, really annoying me. So I did that for about a week. Yeah. And then that kind of like fell off. I bought the new DSX. That's a really good. That's a really good game. Like, wow. It's weird. It's a weird position because everyone's like bashing it. Like, oh, it's not as good as Human Revolution was. It's like, no, it's not. But it just did what Human Revolution did, slightly better. It just didn't innovate enough for everyone to be like, oh, this is a new game and this is really good.
Yeah.
And at the same time as well, it added in microtransactions, which really are not needed, like at all.
Yeah.
The main thing for the microtransactions is you get these things called practice points. You use practice points to upgrade your augments.
Yep.
You also gain a practice point every time you level up, and there are certain vendors in game which you can buy practice points from using in-game money, which you can just. The easiest way. It's so easy to get money in Deus Ex. That version of Deus Ex, you'll never run out, because all you need to do every time you kill a load of goons, nick all their guns, bring it straight back to the vendor. Suddenly you've got about 20 grand. Like, there's no sort of scaling of low-level gear is worth more than high-level gear, because there's no gear. It's just, this is a shotgun. You can find it on the last enemy in the game or the second enemy in the game. Like, it's a shotgun. So, yeah, you can buy practice points all over the place. At the end, I had 7 spare, which I just didn't plug into anything, so I didn't need them.
Yeah.
It's just, so it's a completely pointless thing. But anyway, it's a good game. Yeah. If you like stealth shooters, then go for it. I mean, I've got my eye on Hitman now as well, like the episodic thing, so I was really skeptical about it, but everyone's like, it's looking really good. And I'm like, I could.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But no, you've been on the Destiny kick again, haven't you?
I've started up Destiny. So we're recording this on Monday. Like, I'm just gonna timestamp it because
I think we timestamp it every single freaking time. But
I know, I do it every time and it doesn't matter. So the tomorrow, Tuesday, is the day Rise of Iron comes out, which is the new DLC, and also
whoa, it's not even out yet.
What? Yeah,
the DLC.
No, let me get to this point.
Right. Okay. Sorry. Keep on going.
So tomorrow the DLC hits, but also the Moments of Triumph for Year 2 cutoff happens. And the Moments of Triumph are 8 challenges to complete in the game. To do the hard mode raid, to collect all the calcified fragments, complete the mountaintop quest, complete the main story quest for the Taken King, and then like 4 other quests as well. 4 other things to do. And I didn't have all the calcified fragments, and I hadn't completed the raid on hard mode. And the 3 calcified fragments I actually didn't have 2 as of last week. And they were from the raid, and then I need to complete the hard raid. So what happened was, I was like, I don't care, I'm just going to let it pass by and I'm not going to bother with it. And then on Tuesday last week, when it weekly resets, Bungie decided to put all of the challenge mode actives so I could get the calcified fragments. I was just like, oh, screw it, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to go for it. And it's caused me so much stress that I haven't slept well, like, from, like, Wednesday on last week. Actually, it was from Tuesday, but that Tuesday and Wednesday's nights were kind of due to the weather because it was ridiculously warm, and I wasn't prepared for it.
Yeah, it was like that up here. I only had Monday, Tuesday in last week because I have like shit tons of annual leave to take.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was Tuesday and I was driving back to Cardiff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's so warm now. Especially when my car's got broken air conditioning.
Oh,
it's
man.
Not great. It doesn't go cold. No. But anyway, back to Destiny.
Anyway, yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna set up some games and try and get this completed. And so Thursday evening, got a raid group together. It was probably the best raid group I've had because everyone was willing to learn, and people were like, there were 3 people. There were 3 people that hadn't done all of the challenges before. I was included in that. Actually, no, there must have been 4 people that hadn't done the challenges because on the first one there were 3 people who hadn't done the first challenge for the boss. And so we all get in. We start going. The team's working well together. First challenge mode down in about an hour, which is good. Next challenge mode we do on our second attempt, which was really good. Oh no, we don't. We get it on our third attempt because I had to ask to switch because in the Golgoroth challenge you have your fire team of 6. One person needs to stay out and capture the attention of the boss, and then the person who's assigned number 2 jumps out, grabs the attention of the boss, and then you rotate off between 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mm-hmm. I was in position 2, so I was like, yeah, I'll jump out, grab the attention, and then everything will be fine. And when we wiped, like, the second time, we looked at the damage numbers, or I looked at the damage numbers, and me being in there for 10 seconds, rather than the 20 seconds focusing on damage, my damage was, like, twice that of the person in second place. So I was like, keep me in the pit doing the damage, and get someone else to jump out whose damage isn't as great.
Because I'm doing more damage than anybody else.
Because I'm doing more damage than 2 people combined at the moment. So yeah, it was just a case of like, oh, we need to recognise those strengths in this group as to like how people do what and like where everyone fits in. And luckily we figured it out really quick after that and got that through. So we got him down pretty quick. Moved on to the next section, which is the Daughters of Oryx. We wiped once on it, trying to figure out what we're doing, because the last platform wasn't there. I don't know why the last platform wasn't there. It was buggy. It does that from time to time, and it's just like, the last platform's supposed to be there, where you jump and you grab, and then everyone's invincible and everything's fine, but it wasn't there, and
so
no one knew why.
So you jumped down a bottomless pit.
Jumped and just missed. It just wasn't there. So couldn't grab it, couldn't be invincible, couldn't do any damage to the boss, so tried again, and yeah, went smoothly. Got it done. Then we moved on to the final boss, and like the final boss has some weird mechanics. So you've got to like create bombs in certain locations, and then you've got to detonate them all at the same time while doing damage to the chest of the boss. And
it's nice that Destiny has like, for like other raid bosses, the raid bosses I've done are Borderlands or Borderlands 2.
Yeah. And
it's just like, that is just like a massive thing with just fuck tons of damage. It just has fuck tons of health, and you just have to just shoot it and shoot it more and shoot it a bit more. Like, it's nice that these bosses have, you know, a strategy to them instead of just stand in a location and just use your unlimited ammo thing, which you harvested for like 12 hours to get.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So one of the interesting things about the raid is that one's like really, really mechanically driven, and the guy who designed it, he used to really be into WoW. I think I don't know if he worked for Blizzard or what, but he's got a lot of experience in the raids in World of Warcraft. And they tried to do a similar thing for Destiny, and very quickly realised that there's far too many things going on for a first-person shooter to like necessarily convey all of the information across. So they needed to like retain certain like buffs and debuffs and everything like that, whereas keeping it minimal but also challenging. Because that kind of thing hasn't really been done in a first-person shooter before. Yeah,
but in like World of Warcraft, you can have raids of like 30 people.
Yeah.
And you'll still get wiped.
Yeah.
Like it's a different level, you know?
Yeah, but they've been trying to apply all of those things down to a fire team of 6. and that's where it becomes very interesting. And yeah,
Well, they seem to have pulled it off to a decent degree. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't actually, for Destiny, it seems a bit bad, but aside from you and Izzy, I haven't really heard anything about Destiny anytime recently because, when did the game come out? Like a year and a half ago, maybe?
no, 2 years ago. We're
2
just
years
going into
ago.
year 3 now.
Oh, you're going into year
As
3.
of
Oh, there you
Tuesday,
go.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Destiny 2 will be coming out sooner rather than later, I'd imagine.
Yeah, man, probably, I don't know, it's probably September next year. We're not entirely sure, but they've just released private matches as well, so that gives longevity to the game we're playing right now.
It keeps it going, yeah, but it's just kind of fallen off the radar because it's like the only people who are playing are the people like you who are really absolutely loving it, and it's just like, well, it's there, but I haven't.
Yeah.
The flip side of that, I haven't heard anything bad about it. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah. So I've been looking at Destiny Tracker a lot recently as well, because leading up to it, they were getting 800,000 people playing every day in player versus environment stuff, in all the PvE stuff, and about 600,000 playing PvP. But what you can take away from that is that at least 800,000 people are playing, because the numbers aren't exclusive.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can do both. So I would be counted double for most of those days.
I mean, that's
that's
actually
not
pretty good
bad.
for a 2-year-old game, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
just
and then
shy of a million.
this weekend, with all of the with all the challenges going on and people being like, "Oh, the new DLC's coming out," it was 1.3 million people each day playing, which is
Is that just on the PlayStation or is that across?
that's
everywhere?
across both platforms.
Oh, right, okay.
But
that's pretty damn good.
A really decent population of a game 2 years after it's come out. So I'm just like, oh, that's really fascinating. I guess this kind of leads me in a roundabout way. So I've been doing the challenges, trying to complete the Moments of Triumph. I managed to complete it with a group on Sunday. We did the hard raid. We rotated out 4 different people in the group because they just weren't great, didn't have mics or whatever, and we needed to communicate with them, and they just weren't doing the best thing. The group just worked together. Eventually, it took us about 3 hours, 15 minutes to just beat the boss, because we got a checkpoint, and I'd spent 2 hours on Friday night there as well, and we just kept plowing away at it, and everyone trying to pick things up, and people were dying at random points when they shouldn't have been, and it was a bit weird, but we all managed to pull together, get everything done, and everyone was running back to the center when we needed to detonate in the final phase. I was shooting the chest with the gun that has unlimited ammo, and when you're invincible, that's great. And I was doing it. I was like, I don't even think his health's going away. Just shooting repeatedly. And then someone's like, his health's all the way down, so we just needed to run forward, shoot him a few times, and then he was down. And after that was done, I was like, oh my god, amazing, we did it. And everyone was like, yeah, that was pretty cool, I'm glad we cleared it. And I was like, no guys, this is my first hard mode clear. And they were like, what? Because the whole time I was doing a job that is the only job I've done in the raid, and so I'm relatively practiced at it. And they were just like, we couldn't tell that was your first raid, first hard mode clear at all. I was like, yeah, I'm glad that that's the portrayal that you got of me, because I just kept it going, kept it encouraging, and I'm glad I completed that achievement in game. And I guess the point I really wanted to get onto today, which we're definitely not going to get onto because we need to finish soon, was that in games I do hunt for achievements, but it's rare, and I'm kind of, I don't know, I don't necessarily hunt for achievements. I'm more, I'll go for them. If there's interesting challenges, I'll go for them. Whereas if they're outright ridiculous, I probably won't go for them.
Well, the thing is with you, you go for a challenge. It's not that it's necessarily an achievement. So, for example, I remember you talking with Kelly in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
The fact that you can do a Dark Souls run in, what was your quickest? Was it just shy of 6 hours or something?
I don't know. If I'm playing super well, 6 to 7 hours is a good time.
Yeah. That's
a really good
phenomenal.
time.
On average, that's a phenomenal time. And it's to get to what do you say, Anor Londo in an hour 20 or something?
I don't know. I think I can get there in about 2 hours reliably.
Yeah, that's really good going,
Yeah, but that's also faffing around as well to make sure that Logan's back so I can pick up homing soul mass, because Sorcerer's OP.
Well, you say that, but it's well, even if I properly gunned for getting to Anor Londo, I could maybe do it in 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, you do use the Source of Pyromancy build where I just use pure strength.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Yeah. So yeah, I like going for challenges, like, and with a challenge being presented over the last week, I was like, I think I can do this. And like when I get my teeth in, I'm like, I think I can do this. I go for it.
So when did you have to do this? Till like tonight, basically.
Yeah, basically until 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Right.
But
so when did you finish
to get
this?
it 2 o'clock yesterday.
Jesus. With time to spare.
Yeah, yesterday. Well, basically, I've had a year to do it, and I didn't.
Yeah, okay, fair play. Fair point well made.
So I was just like, I can do it. I believe in me. I know my skills in the game are good to a point. But yeah, that's just like, yeah. But yeah, I do like games that have a challenge to them. But some things I do think are just like ridiculous. Like, I wouldn't want to play Mass Effect on like this silly hard difficulties, or I wouldn't. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't
Mass Effect
hunt
on
out a
Insanity's
hardcore
fun.
mode Fallout. But I don't know. Those things don't really appeal to me. Whereas, I don't know, things that are fixed, like Destiny, you've got normal mode and you've got hard mode. There's only 2 modes there. That's reasonable. You've got Dark Souls, there's the one difficulty. That's how the game comes. And then going New Game Plus after that, it like...
Yeah, I was about to say, New Game Plus, like, it just starts to go up and up and up.
Yeah, but then you've already got all the equipment at the start, and you're just like, You could just disregard it, I understand, but...
No, that's just suicidal.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Yeah, I kind of like games like that, but don't enjoy other games. So, like, in Assassin's Creed, I was always like, I'm going to get all the flags, I'm going to do all the achievements. Assassin's Creed 1, fine. Assassin's Creed 2, awesome. Assassin's Creed... Revelations?
God, no, I don't know. I had 1 and 2 and I stopped.
The next one had online achievements. I was like, screw that, not doing that. And I was just like, that was the point where I stopped.
I'm still sore about Assassin's Creed 2 because it was the feathers for Assassin's Creed 2.
Yep.
Fucking game glitched on me. One feather didn't appear. And I spent like several hundred hours going through the list of every single feather. Like, I got to the point I looked at the list, I was just like, I have to do this. Looked at the list, went through it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Single feather wasn't there. I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
So
I hate going through those lists and you're just like, I've got that one, I've got that one, I've got that one. Then you look back and you actually go to the location and it's just like, I missed that one.
No, I was going through the list, going through every location like 5 times, and it was the same location all 5 times. I was like, fuck, it's not here.
I did that in Assassin's Creed 1. Like, I couldn't find one of the flags in the like big open area, where you need to use a horse to get around, and it was just one I thought I had.
It's like miles away from all the cities, like behind a bush somewhere halfway up a mountain.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I definitely got that one.
Yeah, I've definitely got that one. No, I haven't. I really haven't.
Definitely not.
Crazy. Well, Dom, thank you very much for being my guest. Where can we find you across the internet?
You can find me at McDom023K on YouTube.
Awesome.
At McDom on Twitter. I believe it's McDom. It might be McDom023K.
I think it's McDom023K.
It is at McDom023K on Twitter. I'm McDom on the Rooster Teeth website, and I'm McDom on Steam. And where can we find you, Topham?
I can be found at Ethfar or Destroy Topham on Twitter, Ethfar on ethfar.com even. And this podcast is also on iTunes and YouTube. I have the 2 versions there. And it's also like sourced through Podbean as well, as that's a really good place to host podcasts. And yeah, I've got a new song out. It's called Playing Guitar to Pick Up Chicks 101, I think. It's on soundcloud.com/Ethfar is the newest song. So yeah, check that out. Thank you, Dom, for being my guest this week.
No worries, Topham, anytime.
Excellent. Have an exciting week, everyone. You're my favourites. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.